Hey guys, right there, that's the brand new 2020 Toyota Highlander, and here we are in the Colorado mountains where it's crazy windy, and we're going to find out today if a 3-row family hauler can actually go off-road. Tommy, come on over here. We're kind of hiding behind the truck because it's so windy. It's a little crazy, huh?
Yeah, it's terrible.
And over there are the ironclads. Now, this is where usually it gets very difficult, but we've already gotten here and it wasn't that easy, so let's cut to that video and show you more about this car before we actually go up the ironclads and see how far we can get.
Let's do it.
Look, if you want a Toyota and you want to go off-road and you need something that will haul your family, you're probably not going to go with the Highlander. You're probably going to go with the 4Runner.
You are absolutely right, because the Highlander has a lot of space, it's got a lot of comfort, but it's still a 3-row unibody crossover.
Yeah, and you know, in terms of kind of off-road cred, Toyota does a whole bunch of different off-road and on-road all-wheel drive systems, right?
That's right.
This has a very on-road biased torque vectoring all-wheel drive system.
So it's a front-wheel drive based system that can distribute up to 50% of the power to the rear, and then this Platinum actually has the torque vectoring system, like you mentioned, which will distribute power left and right as it's needed. However, there are 3 all-wheel drive systems available in the Highlander.
Yep.
There's a base system.
Yep.
There's a hybrid all-wheel drive system.
Yep.
And then this one, which should be the best for what we're doing right now.
And really what we're trying to figure out is this good enough to get you to the campsite, not necessarily beyond the campsite?
Yeah, exactly.
Just to understand how difficult this trail is, this is our Chevy Silverado Trail Boss, the most off-road worthy 1500 that you can have, and it didn't make it up the ironclads last week. This is what you need to actually get up there. Yeah, I mean, we're taking a Highlander up a trail that is normally reserved for side-by-sides. I gotta tell you, a side-by-side is as off-road worthy as it gets. So I don't have a lot of faith in how far we're gonna get with the Highlander. That is more of the family haul you need.
So this is super spacious, the leather is beautiful, it's so quiet, and there's a lot of design on the interior here.
Yeah, they've really done a good job in making this much more
comfortable
and much more modern and less plasticky, right? Everywhere I touch. There's a lot of really nice materials.
Oh, it's sleek. I mean, just a couple years ago, if you sat in this,
yeah,
you would have thought that this was a Lexus. I just think this is a next level. I mean, look at the complexity on this dashboard. We have brown leather, stitched leather.
Yep.
We've got this aluminum finish on the middle. We've got tan leather down on the bottom. Bringing all these colors and textures into one is super difficult.
Yeah, it's cool because you got a lot of like little cubby holes to put your phone,
exactly,
right, which is something that everybody has now. So I think Toyota thought about that.
Alright, so the reason you buy a Highlander is not because of its off-road capability, but because of its space. And back here in the second row, look at all the legroom. It is just incredible. I've got second row captain's chairs here, and let's take a look at the third row. Fold this back just a little bit. Ow. And even the third row back here is not too bad. Now the floor is high, so my knees are high, which means that long road trips would be a bit of a struggle in this, but for kids, it's not bad. Headroom's a little compromised. I've sat in way worse third rows than this, though. And let's take a quick peek at the trunk, because even the trunk is huge. Even with the third row up, a generous amount of storage capacity back here, and I can fold them down just like that. And even look, a little cubby for some extra tools and a little bit of additional capacity. So that's why you buy a Highlander, just for the sheer amount of space and versatility. We do have a couple tricks up our sleeve to help us get to where we're trying to go.
What are the tricks?
Well, first of all, we actually have 2 different off-road modes. So there's mud and sand.
Yep.
And then there's the one I'm going to engage, which is rock and dirt. And rock and dirt should be the most aggressive all-wheel drive system for the kind of terrain we're going on today.
Yeah, and the party trick is the same that a lot of vehicles now have. Basically, that is using the vehicle's ABS sensors to figure out which wheel is slipping, braking that wheel, and then sending power to the one that's not.
But in theory, this one should do better than that even.
Really?
Because of the torque vectoring, exactly. But with just 8 inches of ground clearance, some of these holes and ruts are presenting a bit of an issue for the Highlander. And because it has four-wheel independent suspension, for the most part, it's super smooth. I mean, the other argument to this is for, what is this, $51,000?
I've got the Monroney right here, and the out-the-door sticker on this one is $51,112.
Right, the other argument is for 51 grand, you could get a four-wheel drive Sequoia. Alright, so we're back. We made it to our staging area here, and you can see immediately there are a few issues with the Highlander when going off-road. First of all, the tires. These Bridgestone all-seasons aren't very aggressive. The wheels are too big, and then most importantly, look at this approach angle. The front overhang is just huge. We're going to be scraping that thing left and right.
Good golly, it's windy out there. So I think we have to have a serious talk about what we want to do next. Now, this is not an off-roader.
Right.
So, do we want to even try to go up the ironclads?
Well, I think what you're going to find is just 50 feet up the trail.
Yeah.
We've got these little steps, and I don't think we're even going to have the approach angle for that. So let's try to just peek our way up and then turn around if it doesn't work.
How about the Razor Rocks?
No, those are right out.
The Razor Rocks are right out.
Yeah, we need like 10, 12 inches of ground clearance for that.
All right. Keep in mind, we don't own this vehicle,
right?
And I don't want to be calling Toyota telling them, hey guys, I took the family truckster into the deep, wild Colorado wilderness in 50-mile-an-hour winds where side-by-side fear to tread, and we tore the bottom out of it.
Well, we'll be really careful, but I at least want to give it a little bit of a try.
All right, I'll walk up there,
yep,
and then I'll make sure that, you know, you don't hit the front end on some very pointy and very angry rock.
Let's do it.
All right, getting up to the ironclads, we've got a lot of snow and a lot of big ruts. Well, we'll see how far he gets, but pretty soon that Highlander is going to become a snowplow. You'll see.
Now with 295 horsepower and 263 pound-feet of torque, power and torque have not been an issue at all. And thank goodness it has a proper torque converter automatic transmission, in this case an 8-speed. Oh boy, this is already going to be an issue.
So far you're doing okay.
Alright, now come the steps, which are going to be the real challenge here for the Highlander. I don't think I'm going to have enough clearance here, but we'll see what happens. This just has a really bad approach angle.
You see the problem, Tommy?
Yeah, there's no way I'm going to be clearing this first ledge, and there's no way around it either.
I mean, you'll hit this, right, and you'll scrape that up, and you'll tear it off. And then I'm going to call Toyota, and then you guys are going to be like, why didn't you go over the bump? And I'll be like, because it's not our car, and we don't want to tear off the front fascia.
And I want to drive the next generation Tundra,
yeah,
and they're not going to let us do that if we destroy their Highlander, so
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Well, there you have it, guys. The Highlander certainly gets you to the trailhead, but beyond is not something that
it's ready for.
Yeah, go for a forerunner, because look, over there, if you look, those are the Razor Rocks. It's certainly not going to go up those.
Now, just to show you the difference of what a good approach angle is like versus a bad, we've got the Silverado. Up the steps. Take a look at this. Good. Good. What a beast! Of course, please do not comment. We are not comparing a Silverado to a Highlander, just using it for demonstration purposes. Please, I do not want to read that comment.